What we witnessed today at US Bank Stadium wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Minnesota Vikings didn't just beat the Cincinnati Bengals, they dismantled them 48-10 in the most lopsided loss in Bengals history. And at the heart of it all was Rodgers, turning the game into his personal highlight reel, rewriting the franchise record book, and leaving the entire NFL on notice. Rodgers didn't just play defense, he destroyed Cincinnati's offense. First came the interception. Jake Browning tried to squeeze one to Chase Brown, but Rodgers jumped it, sprinted 87 yards down the sideline with convoying blockers, and didn't stop until he was in the end zone. That was 7 points the easy way, and Minnesota never looked back. Then, before halftime, Rodgers did it again. He ripped the ball out from Noah Fant, scooped it himself, and blazed 66 yards for another touchdown. 2 defensive scores in one half. Add in another forced fumble late in the second quarter, and you've got a single-player stat line we've literally never seen before. Rodgers became the first in NFL history to record a pick six, a fumble return touchdown, and 2 forced fumbles in the same game, and he did it all before the break. That dominance translated directly to the scoreboard. The Vikings piled up 31 points off Cincinnati turnovers. Rodgers alone accounted for 14 of them and set up several more. By halftime, it was 34-3, and the Bengals looked shell-shocked. This wasn't just opportunistic defense, it was suffocating, relentless, and absolutely demoralizing for Cincinnati. And for Vikings fans, it was a glimpse of a defensive identity that hasn't felt this dangerous in years. But Rodgers wasn't the only one making history. As the first half ended, Will Reichard trotted out and drilled a 62-yard field goal, the longest in Vikings history, tied for the 5th longest in NFL history. That capped off a jaw-dropping 17-point surge in the final 2 minutes before halftime. Think about that. In less than 2 minutes of football, Minnesota scored a defensive touchdown, added another rushing score, and nailed a record-breaking field goal. That's how you bury a team. On the offensive side, Carson Wentz didn't have to be spectacular. He just had to be steady, and that's exactly what he was. He went 14 of 20 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. This wasn't about putting the offense on his shoulders. Rodgers and the defense gave him margin, Will Reichard gave him cushion, and Jordan Mason gave him balance with 116 rushing yards and 2 scores. Wentz's job was to manage, and he did it with veteran poise. For a quarterback who just signed with the team a few weeks ago, this was as clean and confident a debut as you could ask for. So what does all this mean? First, Rodgers is now a name the rest of the league must circle in red ink. He didn't just have a great game, he made history. Plays like this put you in Pro Bowl conversations, All-Pro discussions, even Defensive Player of the Year buzz if he keeps this up. But more importantly, his performance embodies the new energy of this Vikings defense. This wasn't a lucky afternoon, it was a message. The defense is alive, aggressive, and downright dangerous. Second, this win changes the perception of Minnesota's season. Coming off inconsistency in the first 2 weeks, there were questions about identity, especially with J.J. McCarthy sidelined. But now, after dominating the Bengals, the Vikings look like a team that can win with defense, steal momentum with special teams, and let the offense complement rather than carry. That formula is sustainable, and it's terrifying for opponents. Today, at US Bank Stadium, the Vikings didn't just add a win to the column. They made history. Rodgers with his record-breaking defensive showcase, Reichard with his franchise-best field goal, and the defense with a performance that echoes far beyond Minneapolis. If you weren't paying attention before, you are now. The Minnesota Vikings have officially put the NFL on notice. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.